Before we have a go at the painting, let's just have a quick look at the materials. This is my palette. All the colours dried. They're Cotman watercolours squeezed out and allowed to dry. I used to use them fresh from the tube, but I got tired of all the wasted paint, so I started using them dry. So we've got ultramarine, lemon yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber and light red. Brushes down here, but the main one I use is the large Haker 45mm I bought off eBay, the Ron Ransom one. Got a piece of card I use for scratching out rocks and all that sort of stuff. Water jar, 15 by 11 Fabriano watercolour paper, and it's just clipped to a 9mm piece of plywood. This towel here I use to wipe the brush on, just take off all the excess water. Tube for taking out clouds and whatnot. So the first thing I'm going to do is just wet the paper all over. This is my sort of stretching the paper technique, and then it just sort of stretches. By the time I've done the sky and a bit of the background, it's good to it's sort of stretched then, and I can just refix it. You can stretch it before you start painting if you want, but I just do it this way, it's just easier. That was just raw sienna. This is ultramarine with a bit of Payne's grey mixed into it. Just adds a bit of drama to the sky. A bit of blue in there. More blue, grey. And then there's going to be a bit of water there, so I'll just do that now. It just sort of looks like light reflecting off the water, and then down there is going to be, let's just put a bit of green in, a bit of green, because that's just going to be grass down there. Obviously I don't want green in the sky, but because it's just a big brush and it picks up so much paint, I can get rid of that green. See, look, I'm back to sort of. Can you see green in that? I don't think you can. Bit of blue. Obviously, I could just clean the brush and do it that way, but let's slow it down. This is clouds, just little clouds going in. A few over there, a few there, a few up there. Now I could use a tissue to make a few white clouds, or I could just clean the brush and dry it like that. And if you want to make a few white clouds, just bang it in like that. A few more on this side. That's a bit dirty, so it wasn't coming off very well, so I've cleaned it. Take the excess off like that, and then just go in and just soak it up. More up there. That'll do. Now, the horizon line's quite high. It's about 2/3 of the way. Well, it's actually going to be. I'm going to put it in there, just in this nice little gap along there. So, brush is quite dry, so I'll just dip the tips into the water just to bring the hairs back together, and then I'm going back into those sort of three predominant sky colours, which are raw sienna, burnt umber, ultramarine, and then the land is something like that. And it's a little bit close on this side, so I'm going to darken it up a little bit. I just need to level that off a little bit. And then there's a bit of land in front of that. It sort of comes down. Something like that. And up and down. Should have done that a little bit lighter to make this stand out a bit more, because I'm having to do this really dark now, just to get that, so you can see it against the background. Something like that. And then they are rocks, so just make them look a bit more like rocks. I'm just doing a bit of scraping with the card. And a few more rocks down there. So there's the background. Now you can see how the paper stretches. I've been painting along, so I'm just going to unclip it, pull it tight and fix it against the plywood, and we're good to go again. Now, on this left hand side, it's like trees are coming down there like that. Land just goes right up, just getting to look at the sort of lie of this land. It's something like that. And then I think I might go a bit of light red and ultramarine and put in like a sort of little path. Brush is a bit dry there, so it's not coming off very well now. I could just dip the tips in and do it again. See, it's just loosening the paint, but I've done it now, so that'll do for that. Clean the brush. Everything's a bit dark in tone, so I want a bit of a contrast. So just give me the clean brush into the lemon yellow just to lighten it. See, it's just lightened it a bit. It's all looking a bit muddy. Blue, back to the yellow, bit of raw sienna. Just push it right up to this path. Just want to darken this a little bit more. Down here we've got a little house down there, so I'm just going to scratch that out, put in the roof and the sides. That one's quite far away, so not a lot of detail. I've got an even smaller card here, so I'm going to an even smaller house right up here on the edge by the cliff. And just pull that down slightly. That's a little one up there. There we go. A big like a lamppost thing, telegraph, right up there. Little fence there in the distance, can hardly see. And it ends. It's off up there. Does something or other. Now we've got a bigger one. Let's clean the brush. It's got a sort of ready roof, something lost the so scrap that out again. What I want to do now is give that a quick dry. Once it's dry, the reason I put it on dark is because there's another building here on the left hand side, so I'm going to wet the brush, just take the excess off with the towel, and then if we sort of do the roof first, there's the roof. And then that's sort of like a little chimney thing there. Comes down like that. Here's the one end. Like a little side outhouse thing. So that's the sort of basic shape of the house, and then there's sort of brush is too wet. Got like a ready roof on there, and there's the roof. On that side. I'll just switch to this other brush here. There's the chimney, there's the other side of that. Drawing just coming down on the corner of that house. A little good window there. Just using the corner of the brush, little window there. Very, very loose, but just gives it the general impression of a little house there, and then like a few little rocks and things scattered about. Very low sienna. So I felt like that just came down a little bit more, so I'm just sort of almost just using this as like a rubber, just rubbing out what I don't actually like. Just adds a bit of texture to to the ground. Switch to the number 3 rigger. Bit of dark colour, doesn't really matter what it is. And then we got sort of telegraph wires. Oh, that's not dark enough, can't see it. I'm just going blue, burnt umber, ultramarine, and then just twist it to a point. And that's sort of going that way. It's coming in. And that's going to the house. And that's going further down. I think I'm going to call that one pretty much done. All's left to do, you've got some seagulls in the sky. Let's do a few more. A few seagulls in the sky. And then down now I'm just going to pop my name. I'm going to call that one finished. So let's see what it looks like with the mount on. So this is what the painting looks like with the mount on. So if we go and have a closer look at it. Sky, bit of a mishmash of sort of raw sienna in the background, and then got ultramarine, Payne's grey mixes, so these sort of stormy clouds, and then I've tried to sort of reflect the sort of light area there into the sea, just to make it look more realistic. Distant land is just the same colours as the sky, which helps push it right back. You can see I've sort of pushed it right up just to leave this little gap there, help with the profile of the land, and then it continues all the way to the left. And then when it gets a little bit close on this side, make it a little bit stronger. But then this stuff in front of that I've sort of scraped out with a card just to help bring out the profile, make it look a bit more like rocks. And there's sort of a couple of little islands there, again a bit more scraping. A few more rocks on them. Now moving into the foreground, the sort of focal point is this building there. If you remember, I put that in dark initially and then took it out. Used the hake just to take the paint off with a damp brush and a tissue, and then just painted in the roof. When you look at it, so it's just a couple of roofs and a few marks here and there, a couple of windows, and it just helps it. Just an easy way of painting a house. In front of the house, got a few rocks and boulders lying around the ground, just adds a bit of texture. A few rocks piled up here. It's only a few scrapes with the card to create just a simple way of creating a sort of rock effect. A few less successful buildings, especially, I mean this one looks rubbish here. These ones, well, I don't know what it is, there's something about telegraph poles and the wires, just helps bring a bit of character to it for me. There's something about them that I quite like. Wires just flowing through the painting. Path here that sort of winds its way up through and off into the distance. A few birds up in the sky give a bit of life to the thing. Well, I hope you like that. Thanks for watching. This painting, just like every other painting I do, it goes straight into my eBay store. If you'd like to place a bid and help me out, help me earn a living from this thing, that'd be very much appreciated. In the meantime, keep practicing. Any questions please ask, and I'll see you again soon.